Hello crocheting friends, welcome to my crochet channel. If you are new here, my name is Olga and I love to crochet. On my channel I share tutorials for a variety of crochet items. At the moment I am in love with puff stitches, and over the past year I've made a big variety of lacy scarves with puff stitch designs. And today I'm also making a scarf with puff stitches, but this scarf is not lacy. It has a dense, thick, warm texture. Autumn finally arrived here to Northern California. Just look how beautiful it looks outside of my window, and I am in the mood for warmer, cozier crochet projects. But before we start working on this project, I would like to wish those of you in the United States a happy Thanksgiving with your families and loved ones. I have so many things in my life to be grateful and thankful for, and my YouTube channel is one of them. It's been such a blessing to me. But of course, there wouldn't be a crochet channel without you, my viewers. Thank you so much for all of your support, for inspiring and motivating me to continue my crochet work. And of course, Thanksgiving marks the beginning of the holiday shopping season, and I will be running a big sale in my Etsy shop too. Everything will be off 50% on Friday, 40% on Saturday, and 30% on Sunday. Alright, let's start working on this scarf now. To make the scarf, I will be using Impeccable yarn by Loops and Threads and a hook size J, 6 millimeters. The multiple for this stitch is 8 plus 6, and for my scarf I'm starting with 38 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I have 38 chains and I'm ready to start my first row. Into the second chain from the hook I will make a single crochet. We never count the chain on the hook, we always start counting from the next chain. 1, 2. So over here I make a single crochet. Next I'm going to skip 3 chains. 1, 2, 3, and I will be working into the 4th chain. Into this chain I make a puff stitch. Yarn over, I insert the hook and draw up a loop. Again, yarn over, I insert the hook and draw up a loop. Yarn over, insert the hook and draw up a loop. And one more time, yarn over, I insert the hook and draw up a loop. Now I have 8 loops over here and 1 chain. I do yarn over and I draw yarn through all 8 loops. Now I have 2 on my hook. Again, yarn over and I draw through 2 loops. And my puff stitch is ready. Next, I make 2 chains. 1, 2. And now I will be working into the same chain. I make a puff stitch again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 2 chains. 1, 2. Now I need to make another puff stitch into the same chain. However, I'm going to stop here for a moment. After I will finish all 3 puff stitches into this chain, I will need to skip 3 chains over here. But because I'm making so many stitches into the same chain, the next chain might become quite difficult to see. So before I make the 3rd puff stitch, I actually want to count 3 chains over here. 1, 2, 3. And the 4th chain, I'm going to mark with a stitch marker. Okay, and now I continue working into the same chain over here. I make 1 more puff stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now I know where to make my next single crochet. I skip 3 chains over here and I make this single crochet into the next chain. I can remove my stitch marker now. And 1 pattern repeat is finished. Now my pattern repeats. I will skip 3 chains, work into the 4th chain. I will make 3 puff stitches, then I will skip 3 chains and I will make a single crochet. So here I finished another pattern repeat. You can see what it looks like. And I will continue crocheting this way until the last 4 chains. Here I am at the end of the row. I have 4 chains left, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here's how I finish. I skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and into the last chain I will work a puff stitch, 2 chains and a puff stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 2 chains, 1, 2, and another puff stitch into the same chain. 3, 4. So look what I have. I have 4 pattern repeats, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I also have a half a pattern repeat. And you will see in the next row why I have a half pattern repeat over here. I start the next row with chain 1 and turn, and now I make a single crochet into the top of the very first puff stitch. And now I will be working into the next single crochet over here. Into this single crochet I will make 3 puff stitches separated with 2 chains. So yarn over, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2 chains, 1, 2, and again 1, 2, 3, 4, my second puff stitch, 2 chains, and into the same single crochet 1 more puff stitch, 2, 3, 4. Next I skip the next puff stitch, this one, and I make a single crochet into the top of this middle puff stitch, like this. And now the pattern begins to repeat. I will be working into the next single crochet. I will make a puff stitch, 2 chains, puff stitch, 2 chains, and a puff stitch. Here I made another puff stitch, 2 chains, puff stitch, 2 chains, puff stitch, and into the top of the second puff stitch of this group of 3 puff stitches I make a single crochet. And I continue crocheting this way until the very last single crochet. Here I am at the end of this row. I made 3 puff stitches and a single crochet in top of this puff stitch, and here at the very end I have 1 single crochet, and this is where I will be working right now. So I make 1 puff stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2 chains, 1, 2, and into the same single crochet I make another puff stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this row I have 1, 2, 3, 4 full pattern repeats, and then I have a half pattern repeat. So over here on this side I have a half pattern repeat in the previous row, and now I have half a pattern repeat over here. In the next row I will have a half pattern repeat on this side, then I will have a half pattern repeat on that side. And having these half pattern repeats at the end of each row gives me only 1 repeating row in the pattern. And because you only have 1 repeating row in the pattern is easier to remember and easier to work with. And from this point all I need to do is to repeat my second row until I have a scarf of my desired length. And over here you can see what the pattern looks like when more rows are finished. And it has a very soft, warm, cozy texture. Because it's a warm scarf, I'm making it wider and longer than my usual lacy scarves. I will continue crocheting until I have my scarf about 75 inches long.